I'm Natalie, and I am starting a new YouTube channel. I am a crafter. Then I started watching YouTube videos on crafting ideas and completely fell in love. So I ask that you go ahead and join me in my fun and in my adventure of all these new crafts that I'm going to try and see if we can enjoy this. Thanks so much for joining me, and let's go take a look. We're going to go ahead and make this coaster you see here. Here's what we're going to need. The Dollar Tree pearls, the Crafter Square pearls, 3 Jenga blocks. These are the large Jenga blocks, the actual Jenga brand. Now, if you're going to use the Dollar Tree Tumbling Towers, you will need more. So you would need 10 of those if you use the Tumbling Towers. Then if you're going to put a stencil on it, choose a stencil that fits. And then last you would need the stick-on beads, also from Crafter Square. You'll also want some Gorilla Glue or Super Glue, wood glue, Mod Podge of course, and your favorite paintbrush, and a stencil brush or pouncy brush. And you'll need your hot glue gun. And last is the water holder from the Dollar Tree to help keep your brushes clean. It's a very useful tool. And then paint of your choice. We'll start by just gluing together the 3 Jenga blocks. Here I'm just using wood glue and then 2 dots of the hot glue gun. If you wanted to use the Gorilla Glue or Super Glue or E6000, of course you'd have that option as well. And we just want to glue it together good and snug. Do want to use a flat edge to make sure the items are flat and even with each other. And just wipe off any of the extra glue that comes through. And we're just going to do this to all 3 blocks. Just make sure they're secure and in place, again with the wood glue and the glue gun. And here I'm going to be using that Dollar Tree square to make sure everything is even and square. Alright, once we have it even and square, then we're going to apply the feet, which are just the small pearl beads from the Crafter Square. And I'm just going to hot glue those on. Just obviously be careful for your fingers because obviously it's going to be hot. And we're just going to put 1 in each corner. And I'm not measuring or I'm just, eyeballing it just in the corner on the bottom. Alright, once those are all on, then we're ready for the next step. Now this was funny for me. I have glue all over my desk there, but I use that silicone mat so that glue just comes right up nice and easy. I get to just clean it up real quick and easy. So I love using a silicone mat. Now I am planning on painting here. I should have waited on the paint. I should have put the side beads on first, but I didn't think of that. So here I am starting to paint. And then after I get to the side, then I realize my mistake and realized, oh, I should have put the beads on first. So then I went and I dried off that paint, and then I grabbed my beads and started sticking those beads onto the sides. Now again, these are the stick-on beads, so they're very easy to use. What you'll want to do is just line them up, and then if you come to the corner where there's too many, you literally just cut off what you don't need. Okay, so we're all done putting the beads on. So just checking to make sure they're all spaced well. And then I'm going to go back to the paint. Now I'm painting it white first because I'm using that metallic gold, which is fairly see-through. So I'm just putting the white down to make the gold look a little thicker, a little richer. You wouldn't need to do this white step first if you wanted it all white, or if you wanted it black or some other color that's stronger than the metallic paints. But again, I'm going to do the white first, and then I'm going to paint it with the gold. And in between each coat, I think I did 2 coats on this. In between each coat, I am just drying the paint with my hair dryer, which I'm not going to show that. Obviously, you know how to do that. Okay, and then I'm going to start with the gold. And again, it's fairly see-through, so I also needed 2 coats of the gold, especially around those beads. Those beads were tough. Now, I can tell you it probably would have been better if I would have just spray painted this, but I didn't have any spray paint the color I liked, so this is what I did. I ended up painting it. Now, after suffering with that paintbrush for a while, I realized I should just use my stencil brush or my pouncy brush. It was so much easier, so much better to use the stencil brush to paint those beads if you're not going to spray paint your piece. So then once I figured that out, I was all good to go. And then I just dried it with my hairdryer again, and then I'm going to choose a stencil. And I'm just using that very simple, small stencil I'll put in the middle of the coaster. You can see that coaster in the background there. I had a different stencil on that one. I've actually made 3 of these, and each one has a little bit of a different stencil. So you're just going to do basic, use a contrasting color and just a light coat. Don't make it too heavy. You don't want it to bleed. All right, and that's it. And there's how it looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and just use a wet wipe to clean off my stencil so that the paint doesn't dry on there. So I'm just going to wipe that off real quick. And then again with that silicone mat, it's so easy to clean up. That paint just comes right up. And then I'm going to just coat this with Mod Podge just to seal it in basically and make sure that paint doesn't come off on any hot cup, because I drink a lot of coffee, a lot of hot chocolate. So just going to seal that in to help protect that wood a little bit. And then again, I'm going to dry it with my hair dryer. And that's going to be it. It's just that easy. And they're so cute. And they actually, work well to keep any drinks off of my table. So I love them. Thank you so much for stopping by on my very first video that I've published. I appreciate it. I promise this will be the worst one. They can only get better from here. So stick around, like, comment, subscribe, all the regular YouTube stuff. Thank you.